So, just out on the bike, just testing a chest harness for the GoPro session. It's the earlier GoPro session, so it's not the latest one with the stabilization and where you can put a jack mic in there to comment on. So I'm using my Ghost drift camera just up front here to look back, and I've taken the audio from that. So let's see how it performs. So also, this is the first time I've tried the microphone in the new helmet, which is a HJC flip front, the latest one. I bought this mainly for this bike and for touring. I've got a tour coming up with my cousin in well, at the end of May, 28th of May, bank holiday weekend. And we're going to be going down from UK, across into France, down towards Strasbourg, through the Black Forest in Germany, and then down into Sweden, what am I saying? Switzerland, and do the passes, if we can get through them. There might be snow at that time of year. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go down or across through Austria, and take in a few Austrian sites, and then we're going to head down to Italy, across to Lake Como, and then back up through France from Italy. That's the plan. The problem is, like I said, you might get snow on the top passes in Switzerland, so we do want to see a bit of warmth at that time of year. So let's see what the weather throws at us, but we can always change our plan and head south coast Italy and France and do the Route Napoleon or something like that. So I haven't put anything on the channel for what seems like about a year, which is probably correct. There's about well, there's a lot of things to talk about, but the first thing since I last put a video on the channel, that was when I had the Ducat Monster, which I traded in. So I traded it in for a Yamaha Tracer, 900cc Tracer, or a Mt09 in Europe and an FJ09 in the US. And this is the bike I'm on currently. I'll stop a little bit up the road so I can give you a walk round and things that I've done on it since it came to me as standard. I actually virtually did a swap from the Ducat Monster, which was an 1100 Evo, so last of the water cooled. Lovely bike, naked bike, loads of power, but I was having some trouble with a few issues. One was I could never, since I bought it, get it to tick over from cold. They tried swapping out ECUs and all kinds of stuff, but didn't work. Still couldn't tick over from cold, so that used to wind me up. And then I had a few issues, about 3 or 4 times that I owned it. I only owned it for about a year, and the main issue, and a dangerous issue at that, was basically you were going on a motorway at 80 mile an hour at about 6,000 RPM, and then all of a sudden the traction control sensors would kick in and it would drop to 4,000 RPM, and you couldn't accelerate past 4,000 RPM, which is pretty dangerous if you're on a motorway. And basically it's like putting the brakes on, and then every car behind you nearly crashing into the back of you. So had it in a couple of times to Ducati, they couldn't fix it, and that's why I got rid of it. If I hadn't have had those problems, I would not have got rid of it. It was a lovely bike other than that. So yeah, so I went from V-twin to triple. The Mt09 engine, chassis and everything is the same as the Mt09 range. So, but yeah, I love this bike. It's a bit more touring, which is great. I've added a few bits which I'll show you shortly. Touring screen and some panniers and things. But just made it more great and set up for touring, which I plan to do a lot more of this year and just eat a few miles up. So it's my everyday bike that I use, and it's my my touring bike too. So I've still got the Kawasaki ZX-10R, and I generally use that for track days now. So let's just pull over here and I can give you a walk around on the bike. Okay, so I can also use that bench over there and have a brew. I've got my jet boil with me, which is good. So to give you a walk round and talk you through it, I'll need to just take this camera off here as well if I can. There we go. Make sure that's on the side stand. Okay, so you'll see from both cameras the bike. It's a silver with blue forks, blue wheels, Mt09 Tracer, and it's a 2015 model. What I've done is I've put on the back of it a rack which is SW Motec, and then I've put a Givi top box on top. I went with the Givi rear panniers because they're top loading, and also they're only 22 litre a side, which is more than enough, and I can always put a waterproof bag on the back of the seat there. One of the roll top bags, I have an Oxford 50 litre bag that I can use. So I'll use that on the trip and the tour. Things I've done to it, I've put a screen on the front. This is a Puig touring screen with an aerofoil, and also you can see here I've put the beak on the front, which is from Power Bronze, I think it is. They do two, one that allows you to put the spotlights incorporated from Yamaha. This is the ones without, because I don't need the spotlights. I'm looking to put some Givi crash bars. Then I might add the Givi lights on the side of the engine just to protect it if it just falls over. Other things, let's just have a look around. So I put these grip puppies on the bars, or the grips, and basically they just make it a little bit wider. That one's slipped a bit, which is naughty, shouldn't do. Anyway, it's back to what it was. I have a sat-nav on here. It's an XL van sat-nav. Came from China, I think. Has some old software in it, but it's got all the maps for Europe and UK and Ireland. And it fits on a ball mount, special bracket. You can find it on eBay, that I put underneath the screen and on the bracket there. I have on the front here a iPhone case, hard case, that allows me to see my iPhone when I'm riding along, so I can use that as a sat-nav too. And that again was off eBay. I'm not sure what make it is. Ultimate add-ons, I think it says on it. But that's for the iPhone 6S Plus, so the large iPhone. And that's about it on the front. No modifications other than that. As you can see, the boxes from this side got quick release racks on them, so one special key and 3 turns either side, and basically all the racks pull off and virtually leave nothing in place, so if you didn't want to carry your boxes every day. So I'm going to stop here, have a brew, and then head down to Fleetwood to the Yamaha dealer and have a look around their shop. So yeah, see you shortly.